So Sandy made me a quilt. She calls it my life quilt. It starts out with my dad, who smoked Camel cigarettes and wore dark glasses, and had a little bunny, and the bunny stands for my mom. Bunny. Lived in Ohio, and I went to Austintown Fitch, graduated in 72, worked at Arby's, built a chopper, worked at U.S. Steel. We lived at 325 Raccoon Road. My love for German Shepherds and my friends. This is where we met in Rogers, Ohio at a good friend Bobby Corder's house, and at a pig roast. And this is when happiness started. That's what my anniversary is. And this is a farmer, because that was Sandy's last name. And then there was Patty. Isn't she lovely? That was a song that I brought up to the hospital. It was popular then. And that was when we had Patty. I brought that song up. And then this is my ASC days. This is when I was a material manager at the convertible plant, ASC. And I went to Germany. And these are the countries that I went to while I was in Germany. And this is a Republic Steel. After U.S. Steel, I went there. And plowing snow. That was something I always loved to do because I hated it so much. And we loved to go camping. Jump on the other side. And then there was 4. And Jackie became a gymnast. And I was a Cleveland Browns fan then. And then we moved to North Carolina, and I became a Panther fan. Working for Freightliner when I went to North Carolina. Mooresville was the place that we stayed, and tools. Sandy always makes fun of my tools because I talk about my tools all the time. So we went to Gospel Lighthouse.
Well, first of all, this represents our daughter, Patty, who's a school teacher, and her husband, Shane, who is a fisherman. So that's what this quilt square is.
Yep. And then Gospel Lighthouse. And we went to the Outer Banks of the lighthouse. And then this is 2 peas in a pod. And
those are our twin grandsons. That represents our twin grandsons. One is a gamer and one is a fisherman.
Yep. And football. And, well, this is something that was neat because I was adopted and my parents gave me James Paul Herman, but yet my given name was Paul Anthony Manypenny. So.
And actually, it's kind of interesting because his parents, his adoptive parents, didn't know that his given name at birth was Paul Anthony Manypenny, and they gave him that middle name without even knowing.
Yep. This blanket. Go ahead, talk about that one.
Oh, well, this is just our Mr. Fix-It, who fixed everything. This is just kind of some of the things, the ways that we see Jim, always the hero, which is where this square comes in. Jim, of course. 4th of July on Raccoon Road was always a big deal. We always had a bunch of people who would come for the 4th of July. My forever rocker husband, still like that old time rock and roll. These are some of the things that we did, vacations
Salmon
and
Creek.
such.
Yeah, we were camping in Salmon Creek, the Poconos, and
Disney.
Niagara Falls.
These are just a couple other things that we call Jim.
My nickname's Sparky.
And he got that nickname because he blew up a bike when he was wiring it. He's failing to say that. Peace. Jimmy's always does the peace sign, so that's where this comes in.
And this is one of my sayings.
I asked the girls, our daughters, what are some of the sayings that resonate with you as far as your father? And Jackie said, howdy, because that's what he always says. Patty said, how do you spell? Because my husband can't spell worth shit. Perseverance just came from me because there's nobody with perseverance like Jim. Parts are parts is something that he used to say during his career because it didn't matter what parts he was working with. Parts are parts. Drink some water is something that he would always say when he was trying not to cry. Drink some water.
This was in South Carolina, and rattlesnakes. I got two of them, a 53 and a 56-inch one. And then I would always tell Shane, hey, it's time for shots in the shop. And we called it SIS, so the kids wouldn't know what we were doing. And then this is when I worked at Tyco, flash over to here, building this truck. I was a material manager there. And this, actually, it represents 30,000 stitches for Sandy to make that. She had it digitized and then made that for me. My time at Tyco, I made a MRP system. That's why the M is out, because we called it a HRP system. I used Excel. That's what the X is, with a vertical lookup and all of that, so that
HRP, obviously, for Herman.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this represents our other daughter, who is a nurse, Jackie, and this represents her husband, Guy, who's a golfer. Kennedy is our granddaughter, Jackie's daughter, and we call her K-Bug. That's where this comes in, K-Bug. Princess, of course, because she is. These are
Other places.
the other places Jimmy worked throughout his career as materials management.
Yeah, Detroit Diesel. And this was a trophy that I got presented by Willie G. Davison. That was kind of cool.
That was for taking second place at the Daytona Bike Show at the what was that? The Harley Davidson ride and bike show. So that was kind of big because it was actually presented to him by Willie G. Davidson. These are some of our things that we do. Hamilton Branch. We go camping there with all the kids.
Our 30th anniversary.
30th anniversary, went to the Bahamas, of course. Camping is a big thing here.
Making memories.
That's the cruise. Jimmy likes to wear hats like this. Story behind this is Jim likes to golf, and whenever he goes, he always looks at me and says, wish me 40s, which he doesn't ever do. But that's his wish. Currently, his vehicle today, his red truck. Jimmy loves his birds, feeds them every day. Okay, this is supposed to be Jim with his white beard and his patriotic nature. That's our current German Shepherd, Ada. They call me Papa Herm, of course. Just a little bit of Jesus, a little bit of Jesus. Some more Jesus. And the very last square, the love of my life. Thanks for the journey, because I've been with them through 47 years of this quilt. And here it is. Kind of hard to get the whole thing in. There you go. You good, Jim?
I'm good.